Economic
specifically
Singularity,
hoarding
Islamic
wealth so it doesn't
Framework,
circulate.
by Muhammad
He
Raj
argues
Abdullah,
that
Part
companies
2.
hoarding these massive data sets, which are the collective knowledge of humanity, are committing cons.
Because that data was trained on us. Our internet searches, our photos, our forum posts.
Exactly. So he frames the AI tax as essentially a usage fee for that collective knowledge. You used our history to train your model. You owe a dividend back to the people who created that history.
This all feeds into what he calls the Charter of the AI Moomin, the AI believer. It's like a code of ethics for developers.
It's a mandatory code of conduct, and it lays out some really hard lines. The first one is the principle of non-weaponization of need.
That sounds intense. What does it mean in practice?
It means algorithms cannot use scarcity logic to manipulate people. You can't design a system that pushes someone into debt or extracts labor just because they're desperate for food or shelter.
So no predatory lending apps that target people the second they run out of money.
Gone. It frames that kind of extraction as morally illegitimate. And then there's the mandate of universal Shifa, or healing.
This one really stood out to me.
It's powerful. It's the idea that knowledge generated by AI in medicine or agriculture cannot be a private monopoly. If an AI discovers a cure for cancer, he argues that knowledge has to be treated as a wakal,
A public endowment.
a public endowment. You can't lock the cure behind a patent wall if the AI figured it out using public data.
It forces a certain amount of open source in critical sectors, so the poor can build their own solutions instead of just being dependent on tech giants forever.
Right.
Okay, so let's zoom out. We have the taxes, the digital zakat, the CUMs, we have the ethical charter. Where does all this revenue actually go?
And he's very specific. This is key. It doesn't just go into a general government slush fund.
It's earmarked.
It's earmarked. He calls it the singularity tier system, and it's based on categories of recipients in the Quran. It's not universal basic income.
So not a check in the mail.
It's universal basic services. The fund pays directly for the production of essentials.
Give me some examples. What does this look like?
First, nutritional hack. Robotic vertical farms, taxed at the source, provide free bread stations or basic nutritional calories in every neighborhood.
So the baseline is no one starves.
Period.
No one starves.
Then, dignified shelter. He talks about 3D printed housing funded by AI dividends. And finally, a medical Shifa fund. AI-driven drug discovery has to be free or affordable.
It creates a floor, a safety net you physically cannot fall through.
But here's the most important part, psychologically. Abdullah contrasts this with secular UBI. In a secular model, that money is often seen as a handout from the state.
Right, I'm giving you this because you're unemployed.
Yeah.
It feels like charity, which can feel demeaning.
Exactly. It creates a dependency. But in this model, the provision is hack. It is an inalienable right.
That is a huge shift in mindset.
It is. The recipient isn't a debtor to the state. They are a creditor. The state is just the administrator. You're not getting a handout. You are receiving your share of the baraka, the blessing that the technology produced.
It preserves dignity.
It preserves dignity.
I can already hear the critics, though. If you tax the robots this heavily and force open source, you're going to kill innovation. Why build the superintelligence if you have to give away 20%?
It's the classic argument, and he anticipates it. He addresses the innovation versus justice debate head on. His counter is simple. Innovation without justice is zulm, oppression.
Strong words. But does that hold up economically?
Well, he argues that if you increase efficiency by 10,000%, but your neighbor goes hungry, that innovation lacks blessing. It's hollow. But he also makes a pragmatic economic argument that capitalists should listen to.
Or just
Stability. If you don't have a floor for the masses, the market collapses. If robots do all the work and keep all the money, who's left to buy the product?
you need people with money to buy the stuff the robots are making.
Exactly. So in his view, justice is the ultimate efficiency. The tax ensures the system keeps circulating.
He closes the paper with something he calls the Umar test. This refers to Caliph Umar.
Yes, Umar ibn al-Khattab. There's a famous story where Umar says, "If a mule stumbles in Iraq, I fear Allah will ask me why I did not pave the road for it."
Wow, that's a heavy level of responsibility for a pothole 1,000 miles away.
Abdullah updates this for our time. He writes, "If an autonomous vehicle fails in the farthest land because its code was neglected, I fear Allah will ask me why the infrastructure was not maintained."
That's chilling.
Oh.
It completely reframes the whole liability issue.
It shifts the responsibility. We love to blame the algorithm when things go wrong. Oh, the AI did it. Abdullah says, no, the responsibility lies with the system designer.
The developer.
The developer is the steward, the Khalifa. You cannot wash your hands of the consequences of your code.
It brings the human element right back into the center of this high-tech future.
That's the core message. The technology is neutral. The algorithm of justice is a choice.
So let's just recap this whole vision. A world where robots do the heavy lifting. We tax compute power and autonomous yield. We treat data as a public resource. And we use that revenue to guarantee food, shelter, and medicine.
Not as a state benefit, but as a human right.
A right that frees people to stop laboring and start contributing through ESON.
That's the framework.
It is a compelling one. And, whether or not you agree with the religious basis, whether you're coming at this from a faith perspective or a purely secular one, you have to admit it offers a specific solution.
It does. A specific solution to a problem that most policymakers are just shrugging at. We are staring down the barrel of mass displacement, and we're still arguing about interest rates.
This is a systemic reimagining of what value actually is.
It treats the economy as a moral ecosystem, not just a spreadsheet.
It's bold, and that's what we like here. Ideas that actually try to solve the problem.
Indeed. It forces us to ask what the economy is actually for.
So here's the thought we want to leave you with today, something to chew on. Abdullah's paper suggests that the technology is ready. The physics are there, the logic is there, the robots are ready to produce infinite wealth.
The only thing missing is the will to distribute it.
Exactly. So, in a world where AI can produce enough for everyone, are we holding on to the concept of earning a living just to control people? Or are we finally ready to let technology liberate the human spirit for something higher?
That's the question.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.